the pressure is increasing on Chris Rock from some people in Hollywood who think he should step down and should not host the Oscars. Now, I don't think there's any way in hell that Chris Rock is going to do that.
He's going to totally.
He's going to stay on, and he's going to do it. And personally, I think he should. Never mind what I think. Tyrese, who has already made one plea to Chris Rock to step down, is now taking it a step further, and he's kind of shaming him. And he's saying, if you were gay, you would have stepped down already.
Well, no. He goes beyond that.
He says, if Andy Cohen of Watch What Happens Live or Ellen were hosting the Oscars, and they purposely left out all gays or homosexuals from being nominated for an Oscar, they would have stepped down already. Okay. Now, first of all, it should have been would have, but he did say would have.
He did say would have.
Stepped down already.
Now, he went further and said that the gay community has become stronger than the African-American community.
Right. I mean, and that's his point. He's sort of shaming Chris, saying, look, you have to show some solidarity here with the black community because the gays would, so how come you can't do that?
But he's saying the gay community is now stronger than the African-American community. That's a pretty big statement.
But even if, actually,
see, I don't know that Ellen. I don't know that
he might be. Look, he might in Hollywood. He might be right that the gay community is stronger than the black community. However, that doesn't mean that you should shame Chris Rock and say if you were gay.
Would Ellen or Andy Cohen boycott?
Step down?
Yeah. No, why would they?
I don't think they would either.
I think the point is, like, at the end of the day, there aren't even openly gay people who have been mostly nominated for a role, or I mean, for the Oscars. And so it's usually a straight person who plays a gay character or a straight person who plays a transgender role that gets nominated for an Oscar. It's always been known to do that. So there hasn't even been that many nominated openly gay people.
Well, I think
we don't have the roles. It's the same kind of concept.
It goes beyond that. It goes beyond that, Anthony. I think it also goes to the fact that there are a lot of people who are closeted because they're afraid of retribution from Hollywood. And so, in many ways, it's way worse in the gay community because you can't be who you are.
Okay, let's not get into a pissing match here about who has it worse.
Why?
I mean,
Tyrese started it.
How about this? How about we all boycott? How about everybody boycotts?
Tyrese started this.
Blacks, gays, let's do it.
Well, I think the most profound, or the one that they really need, is the white community to boycott. That's the one who's going to make the difference. If the white people are saying we're not going to go to support our black friends or our gay friends, that's where the change is going to happen. It's not if we don't like.
But they kind of made their decision by voting. I mean, they
totally.
So anyway, look. I mean, there is a steamroller that's rolling down the Hollywood Boulevard right now, and you know the question is, you know, is it gonna just annihilate the Oscars this year? Honestly, I think it's going to do exactly the opposite. I think more people are going to watch the Oscars because now everybody wants to hear what's going to happen, and it's going to make the show more interesting.
He's going to destroy the Academy, right? Like,
no,
he has to.
Overall, would I want to see Chris Rock? I mean, I can see other stand-ups of Chris Rock being very funny. You know what I'm saying? That type of situation. But considering the factor that they didn't put in any minorities, then why would I want to tune in?
Because you want to see how Chris Rock is going to handle it.
How Chris Rock. You want to hear the other stars because you know other stars are going to jump on this train, right? You know other stars who get up there are going to make comments. They're going to make statements. I mean, people who do this.
The statement that they can't make if they're already attending. So that's not the statement.
It's the same thing as when wasn't it Arquette last year made the thing about women rights and how women need to be more in the Oscars and all these stuff, like in women roles. It's kind of the same thing. They're going to go up there and say the movie stars need to be, you know, blacks and all this stuff. It's
movie stars travel in packs.
If Leo wins, he goes up and he says, "This one is
beat the same drum." They'll beat the same drum. Yeah, they will. I mean, and it's going to be more interesting.
Hi, I'm Shanae. I'm calling from Pinole, California. First off, I just want to say that I love Tyrese. But with that being said, I kind of think it's unfair for us to call on Chris Rock to, you know, take a stand and refuse to do something that he's contractually obligated to do, I believe. But he's very vocal comedically with issues in the black community. So the other part of me, a bigger part, thinks that it's extremely reasonable that we demand that he take a stand, just because, I mean, imagine the impact that it would have. So I definitely agree with Tyrese.
You lose the forum,
but but you can agree that Chris Rock needs to address it and should address it. But that's different from saying don't host the Oscars.
I have a question. So suppose Chris Rock were to drop out. Would the Oscars be able to pick, would they pick another African-American person, and would they get somebody who would accept?
They just have to go to they got to have a go-to white guy stand by.
Well, do they go to a go-to white guy, or do they find another black guy?
Call Billy Crystal. He's always...
No. They've got to find another black guy.
They got to find a black guy.
No, you can't do that.
You have to.
No, but now that looks... No,
you have to.
But
gotta find a black guy.
Cannot accept.
You cannot make it
No,
Lily
but
White.
then they go to another black guy. That black guy cannot accept.
Well,
cannot accept. If Chris Rock stepped down, I don't know, if they went to...
If you step down, if Chris Rock steps down, right,
can't
and then
go
you're
to
the
DL
next black
Hughley
person,
and
you look
like,
like an Uncle Tom, point blank period.
Remember when Donald Rumsfeld resigned from the Attorney
did you
General?
hear what she said?
And I heard point blank period.
Okay.
I got it.
No, not the point blank period part.
The Uncle Tom part, Harvey.
It's not but you know what?
That's what that person
the
would
argument.
get. That's
but
what
not
that person would
but
get
not
labeled.
everybody believes that.
That's
And there are a
Harvey,
lot
if
of
you
people in
make-
the
if he
African
makes a
American
method,
community
though, to
who
step-
don't believe that.
Harvey, if he makes a method to step down, you would never be the next black person going forward unless you look like an
Even-
Uncle Tom, and everyone will hate you from that moment forward.
Raquel, quick question. We got to move on. But quick question: is Spike Lee more militant than Tyrese?
Depends on who you ask.
I'm asking you.
I mean, I love
He's more-
Spike Lee,
I don't like
so
the word. Hold on,
I
I
love
don't like the
Tyrese,
word
and I'm not
militant.
going to do these because
Hold on a second.
I know
I
you don't.
don't like the word militant. You want to say, is he more vocal about?
No, I
things?
want to say, does he have feel more intolerance when stuff like this happens?
He's generally more vocal about.
Well, Spike Lee has no problem Chris Rock hosting. So
Okay.
there you go.
Point blank period.
Point blank period.